We hold up this vision. Big hugs, everyone, and welcome to Pass the Mic. My name is Gino, and I want to thank you for joining me today. And yes, the redheads are in the house, baby! Say hello to Regina Breech.
Hello, everyone out there. So excited to be here with Gina, the amazing Gina.
Yeah, I paid her, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So, what's our song today?
I want to dance with somebody by Whitney.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Get your dancing shoes on because we getting ready to do this thing. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. And you hear Buddy in the background he's the background, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You know,
so excited.
I met Regina in Santa Barbara at the Unity Church there, but I got a chance to actually know her over Facebook, really. As I started watching you do your lives and, you know, just hitting people, dropping them some knowledge. She was dropping the knowledge, y'all, dropping the knowledge. What made you get inspired to do that?
I think really I just wanted to begin talking about what I'd been through. And I realized that when I was going through dark times, you feel like you're the only one. And the moment you realize, oh my gosh, that was just a part of my story. If everyone could know that they're not alone when they're going through stuff, that would be amazing. And so I just began speaking about it on Facebook, and one thing led to another, and I started getting beautiful messages from people that were moved by the videos, which I couldn't believe. So I just said, all right, like, universe is working through me, so I'll keep going. But yeah, it's fun to share.
You know, it is so amazing because we don't know everybody's story,
Right.
and of course you see her beauty, and so seeing her at in Santa Barbara at Unity, you know, it's just like, hey, you know, and watching you do your lives on Facebook, it really put a humanity type of thing to your life, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I know we have friends that they think they know us, they kind of know us,
Right.
but how many of your friends came forward and like, girl, I didn't know that?
I mean, more than friends, family.
Oh.
Like, I had family that came out of the woodwork, would pull me aside next time I saw them at home and say, I just had no idea.
Wow.
I just had no idea.
Wow.
I thought this of you. I thought this is how you were acting, and I did not know. I wish I would have known. Yeah. That's the overwhelming responses.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So I know you're wondering, what the hell is it? What is it?
Let's just keep talking and like
Just go around it, up the street, down the corner. And then we're going to thank you very much.
Oh my God. It's been fun.
So do you want to share a little bit about what it was, what it is, or your depression? Was it just depression?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I look back now, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. But for what led to my depression, I was in a depression for 1.5 to 2 years. But what led up to that was a 12-year secret addiction to opiates, to painkillers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm the nigga in the alley. I'm sorry, it just, I'm your pusher man.
Oh my gosh! And now I'm just gonna hear that in the background all the time. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
No,
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh my gosh! Yeah, isn't it? It's so good to just laugh about this stuff now because you're just free from it, and you realize it's just part of your path, and it was part of your journey, and we overcome. You know, humans are so amazing. We overcome so much. And now I get to share about it and laugh about it, not, making small of it, but it's like, it's just part of life,
now,
sometimes.
Did you have an accident that happened, or did you go to the doctors, like I don't feel well, or, how did the journey start? Because a lot of times we don't realize we're on it until we're knee deep in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. No, and that's what I said in some of my videos. I said, for those of us who have been there or who are in an addiction or who are having an eating disorder or something, you don't even know how you got there. And all of a sudden you wake up and look around and it's been years or however long and you think, who am I that is in this predicament right now? How did I even get here? Because you don't think about it. It's just you wake up one day and oh my gosh. Yeah. So I started initially taking them because I had anxiety.
Okay.
And I realized that they eased the anxiety. They made me a little bit more socially open and happy. And, so it was an easy fix to not deal with my emotions and understand what exactly I should be doing. But,
Well, now, were you a shy person? Like, if you went to a party, were you one that could go and be there on your own, or did you need
No, I've always been. I could always go on my own. Yeah.
But would you talk to people? No.
I know. I would stand in the corner. No, I could go on my own. I could, but there's still a level. I think when you're a big feeler, when you're somebody who's really open, or maybe I didn't know I was that open, but I felt a lot of people's energy, So I'm wondering if that's part of it. It's like a level of numbing so that you can just be in the moment without having to take on all the energy. I'm not sure, but.
Well, I mean, the journey is still unfolding in the sense that as you start to recognize, were there like triggers that you started to recognize, like, oh, this is happening, that's happening, and then the push to take more opiates, or does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay. She said it don't make sense. I thought I was pretty damn educated myself.
No, it does. I was kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think that eventually it just became habitual. Like I would have a client in my chair and I would take one before a client or before a socialist. I mean, eventually it just becomes something that you maintain a level of. Yeah, so and then eventually it's not sustainable and you have to either get help or you go downhill, and I went downhill. I chose that route, and luckily I had it because it's what broke me out. I mean, I finally reached my threshold, and I feel like I had what's called a spiritual awakening. That's how I look at it. And I just had a moment where I broke down and I cried, and I just knew it wasn't me. Like, who am I, and how did I get here, and what is this? And just crying and praying, I guess. And I didn't even realize it at the time that I was praying, but I was.
Wow.
And I woke up. I mean, I wish I could remember the actual details, but I remember I put on the book The Secret, like I dried the tears, somehow was getting, packing my stuff from my ex-boyfriend's house for the gajillionth time, and put on The Secret.
This is it.
Yeah, and it was it. Yeah. There was no rehab or 12 steps or anything. It was just like, where are you taking me?
That's really amazing. I've had my my bouts with drugs. And there was a point in time in my life where I was smoking cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
And I had said to some of my friends that we were in this clique hanging out, like, hey, how you feeling?
Right.
What, you all right? And I got embarrassed because like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I got my thing together.
Right.
But I realized there was a guy that I was dating. And now he was a drug dealer, but he did not do drugs. And so he came to pick me up for the weekend, and he said to me, when I met you, Gino, you had dreams, you had hopes. He said, you were always about possibilities. He said, and now you just a basehead. I was like, what? Ooh. As I went, and that weekend, he treated me so differently. The intimacy was gone. Wow. There was just this nothing. And I had lost a lot of weight because I didn't see myself as that. Right. I thought I had it together. I was literally about a size 4. You see all these hips now. You what?
Love it.
And when I went home, he said, at that time I was living over a liquor store. He said, when I met you in a beautiful home, now look at you living over a liquor store. And I hadn't seen the progression of where I know you think it's impossible that you don't see it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And when I went home, I fell to my knees and started crying. And I remember I had pipes hidden around my house. And I prayed so I just passed out.
Oh, yeah.
I passed out. I had this incredible dream with me smoking. What I loved about smoking was seeing all the smoke in the pipe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was the turn on for me. That was
it's pretty. I can see what you mean.
wow, look at that. And in this dream, I had this. It was like the biggest draw I had ever seen. And then I released it. And when I woke up, I got rid of every pipe. I disconnected myself from everybody that I was dealing with and never went back there again. And it was truly, I had to recognize that, you got a problem, girl.
Yeah.
But it is, like you said, it was an amazing journey to come to an awareness that within me, I don't even know if I knew that I had the strength, because I didn't go to a AA or a drug treatment program, and they're all different paths for everyone, whichever path works for you. And for me, I really started anchoring more spiritually. And it helped me amazingly. I mean, the stories. I'm sure you have some stories, right?
It's amazing. There's it's beyond words, yeah.
Did I really do that?
Yeah, totally. They're still, I'm like, oh my gosh, sometimes.
But I have to say, I was checking in on Regina, and you were talking about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yeah.
Who came out that she was addicted to opiates.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I was like, what?
The photo that I posted?
Yeah. What made you do that?
So how cool is this that Jamie Lee Curtis is on the cover of People magazine coming out about her she too had a really long, like a 10-year opiate addiction. Yeah. And it's so powerful right now because I heard a statistic that we're literally having a 9/11 every 3 weeks.
Wow.
To opiate addiction.
Really?
Losing that many people, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to like the more extreme degree. Mine was only pills, but this is
Yeah. Well, I mean,
even pills though. I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, but one of the things with pills is that for so long it wasn't considered drugs; it was a prescription. And that made it okay to
right.
No, this is my prescription.
Totally. Oh, I played that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you jacked up on your prescription.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. I was afraid to take pills, so I didn't. I'm not afraid to take cocaine. No.
Yeah, exactly. The way our minds work.
How did that work out?
Yep.
But without that, I believe that all of us on our journey, we've come here with these beautiful gifts to help all of us expand. And without that, because somebody saw you, that they're in the midst of their journey, whether it's opiates or addicted to somebody that you love that doesn't love you.
Oh, so many addictions. Yeah, there's so many.
God. Sex addiction,
Yep.
What? Food,
yeah.
Working out addiction,
Phone.
like the phone. Addiction.
Yeah.
What's your addiction?
We have all got that. I'm just kidding.
Well, we're learning so much.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
About how powerful our consciousness is. So you come out, and is there a sense of like the elephant in the room for you is gone?
Yes. So that photo, my first video, the very first video I did on Facebook ever was in 2016. Maybe it was a while ago. It was a couple years ago, and that's when I told my story.
Really?
That was my first Facebook video. I just went, here you go. I think it was so interesting. I was following a Christian, kind of like a life coach, and I think she had a Christian background. And this woman just talked about all of her crap like it was just completely normal. I had never seen anyone do that before. And it was so refreshing, and people loved her even more because she was so real.
Right.
And we had this deeper connection to this woman. She's up on stage teaching, but she's talking about, all like her addictions and what she went through and all this, when she was sleeping around. And I mean, she just like laid it out. Every conference I went to, she just told more and more of her story. And people just loved her. And I said, all right, God, I get it. I see what I'm supposed to do here. And I remember the first time I tried to do it, I was like,
You were
this.
trembling?
And I spoke, and I said, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna, we'll try that one again tomorrow. And then the next day, okay, a little bit, I put the phone down, and I composed myself, and I did it. And I have never got so many I love yous in all of my life. Hundreds of I love yous. It was mind blowing.
Isn't that beautiful?
And the weight that was released was that was unbelievable as well.
It is.
Oh my
because
gosh.
I think this is the first time I've shared on camera. I was
wondering, yeah.
Yeah, I've shared with people that know me, my journey. But yeah, I just felt like, wow, I don't believe that you can give back to the world in a sense if you've not gone through anything. And I don't want to say that you can't give back, but people are inspired by people that have lived life or that are living life.
Yeah.
And so that includes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with all of it, So with your relationship, did you find that there was a connection with him and opiates?
No, because it had gone over such a long period of time. I had multiple long distance long distance. I had multiple. They were long distance, really, because I was like not fully there. But
I was in the South.
Yeah, exactly. But I had relationships and no one knew. So it was
Nobody knew?
No one knew. Oh, please, no one knew. My clients, I had this is what I love about this story, because I was so successful on the outside. This is my big thing, is like, we are all so successful trying to look our best and be our best, and nobody knows what we're going through on the inside. So for over a decade,
wow.
Men that one of them I lived with,
you come on.
Oh girl, I was sneaky. I was sneaky. Oh my gosh, never knew.
Really?
Never knew.
It didn't have an inkling.
No one knew.
You must have handled your high exceptionally well.
I think what was a blessing and a blessing was that I was a blessing.
It was a
blessing and a curse. It was a blessing because I never looked. My body was, it couldn't process very much at a time, so I could never get really high. It was just like this low level consistency.
Okay.
The curse was that then it lasted for freaking ever because no one knew, right? So I was able to hide it.
Right.
I mean, and then bulimia also, same thing. No one knew. Yeah.
Wow.
For that whole time, and look back at when you're in that addictive state and you're just asleep and you're going through the motions and eating disorders and addiction. It all kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah.
I'll be your friend. You be my
Pretty
friend.
much. Yeah.
Okay, so you were a sneak attack.
Yeah.
You could sneaky beaky. You
Yeah.
could hide it from everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You could hide it from everybody. And what about your immediate family? Like with your mom, your brothers, or do you have brothers or sisters?
I have a younger brother who is also going down that path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna hide there.
What you got?
Pretty much. I
got
love you,
some
bro.
red. That's a big.
Love you, bro. We made it to the other side.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's a fabulous thing.
Yeah.
So, did you wake up one morning just so overwhelmed with enough, that feeling? Because you've had the feeling before, correct?
I've had the feeling before.
That, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
I gotta stop. But this particular time, something clicked. Do you know what that was?
And the other times that it happened, I was still living a pretty, again, outwardly successful life.
Okay.
And then when it started going downhill, I stopped working. I couldn't work anymore. I started taking more pills, antidepressants, Adderall. I started smoking.
Okay. So you like, the buffet is open.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And this was just like 5 years ago.
Wow.
So I went down, really, really, really downhill, which was reflected in the relationship that I was in. I would have never normally been in a relationship
That's
with,
what I was asking.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that when you look back and you go, I would never have been with this guy.
Ever.
No offense.
You're still a child of God. I appreciate you for what you did in my life. But I would have never.
He was a gift.
He was a gift.
It was a gift.
And he was right. And his choice was alcohol. And I would,
Okay.
it was just, I couldn't, I was like, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
How did I get here? How? I mean,
Isn't that a question?
Question
It's like,
goes deep.
how? Like,
Yeah.
you know, does it even really matter how? It's just
No.
like, gotta get the hell out of
Yes,
here.
it's time. So yes, you're right. Things
Yeah.
got so bad that I finally had to say, I can't breathe. You guys, this is not me. I have to change. Something has to give.
That's a beautiful place. I mean, that's the rock bottom, and everybody's rock bottom is different. You know, mine hit where, you know, I had a man friend that used to praise me how great I was, that went to like, girl, I don't even want to touch you. I don't even know who you are.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
that,
he was that reflection.
it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. But thank you.
Oh, what a blessing. Oh my gosh, it just doesn't matter. As long as we can recognize,
Yeah.
right, the beauty of why they were there and what they did, it's
Absolutely.
amazing because everyone is there for a reason.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone. We're
Yeah.
all co-creating together.
Absolutely.
And to cherish the gift, not beat the gift up.
That's right.
Because sometimes the gift is pushing us in a way that we don't want to go.
Amen. That's right.
So I know people have heard you use the word client a few times, and for you naughty minds out there, I want to clean this up for you. Am I the naughty mind? No. But you are a hairstylist.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. How long have you been a hairstylist?
14 years?
Oh, my.
Something like that, yeah.
Her hair is really beautiful, isn't it? Yes.
Thank
Do you
you.
do your own hair?
I do.
Oh, you know, well, I'm not good with hair.
Your hair is amazing.
Sure it is.
I love it. Every time I walk into Unity. Yes, there she is. I love it. I love
I
it.
like to change it.
Yes.
Now, what got you into hairdressing? That's that's an intimate, personal, really creative expression.
Yeah. I think in the moment there wasn't anything really inspirational about it. I really just saw how much money a friend of mine was making doing hair, and I said, screw art school, I'm going to do hair.
Oh, dude, you started out as an artist?
Yeah, so I was getting my degree in studio art and
Wow.
shifted so that I could make enough money to pay my way through school, and then I started making the money, and I was like,
You know what? I understand that. Years ago, I went to real estate to make money to be able to sing. But when you start making the money, I didn't do
Oh my
nothing with
gosh.
singing.
Yeah.
And then some things happened, and it pushed me back out into the world of music. But
Thank God.
But I understand that, because in your mind it makes sense. Like, okay, I'm gonna make this money over here,
Yeah.
so that I can do this over here.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But you know, I'm sure your creative expression still comes through in hair.
Yes. I think so.
Oh,
I
I
love that
know.
it's hands-on and that I can kind of sculpt and create. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Now, do you ever do hair shows?
I haven't, and I got away from it a little bit, and I've just gotten re-inspired. Actually, I'm going to be working in LA a little bit, and so it's very exciting. So I'm just so re-inspired and feeling amazing about it. And I think what I love the creation of the hair and making women feel good about themselves and making people love how they look and love who they are. And in addition to that, I get to be with them, right? And give this energy.
Yes.
And let them feel seen and heard, which maybe they haven't in their whole lives or at all that week. And here I am, they get to speak with me, and I can hold space for them and be with them and let them know that they're amazing in all the ways. Don't get me started.
No, I love that. I think that's so important, because most of us don't really appreciate ourselves. You know, I said some time ago that sometimes when I hear myself talk to me, if I were calling that person, I would just hang up on them.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, what?
So good.
I would just
So
click.
true.
I wouldn't answer your emails, don't text, don't
Right.
write.
Yes.
You know, and we forget. So when we have someone that reflects the beauty of us, and you do that, you know, you have a really great presence.
Oh,
about
thank you.
You really do. That's really wonderful. And, you know, I do feel that when you go to a salon, it is an intimate experience, because sometimes the things you see with people's hair
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Yeah.
I have scared many of people on my own.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. It can be a process sometimes.
So tell me, where do you see yourself going now in life?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I see myself surrendering more and more every day to where life is guiding me, which feels so amazing. It is the more I've just been given so many beautiful blessings and realizations lately, watching myself let go and watching life show up in ways that I could have never imagined or planned or goal set or anything. It's like bigger and better than I could have, my human little mind could ever comprehend.
Wow.
Which I love. But I think just that and really being this presence of joy and love and happiness for people, because people take life so seriously. We take life so seriously. Like,
So
trust me, I
seriously.
have been there. Right?
We judge ourselves
Yeah.
constantly.
Oh my gosh.
We're not enough. We're not doing enough.
Yes.
We don't have enough. Da 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 da
Yes.
da da da. And the song goes on and on.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot in certain music, that the energy is such a lower
Yes.
level, and people gravitate to that because it's like, oh yeah, play that song again.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like full emotion. Yeah.
Woe is
Yeah.
me. So that's awesome. Tell me, what's one place you'd love to go if you could go in the world? Where would that be?
One place?
Yeah, one place. Like, say, there's one place on your bucket list that'd be like, before I kick it, I've got to go to this place.
Oh my gosh, there's so many!
Well, give me your top 3.
I really want to go to South America.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I say Peru,
Ooh, why?
because it looks so, I'm a big nature girl.
Oh.
And so, of course, Machu Picchu is calling me.
Yes,
Like, it just
yes.
looks so green and beautiful there. Every picture, I'm like, take me there. Yes, I want to go. Like, it just looks majestic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It does. I had some friends that went to Machu Picchu.
Really?
Whatever you heard.
You got you. Chew. Pichu.
Machu
Picchu.
Picchu.
Picchu. That's fun.
Machu Picchu.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah,
Those
they did the
lyrics.
whole trail, and they talked about the natural plants that grew that were amazing along the path. It's quite an amazing thing. Okay, so Peru.
I would love to go to Japan.
Japan.
I've never been. I guess I've only been to Indonesia in Asia, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, I would love to go to Japan. The culture is just so fascinating to me, and the food, and it just looks like an amazing place.
Oh, do you like the Japanese food, Chinese food? Now, I've not been to Japan or to the Asian world either. And everyone that I know that has gone there always says it's totally different.
Yeah,
From
completely
what
different.
we-
Yeah, completely different.
So they ask you if you want the American style, if you want
Oh, that's so funny. I want the Japanese style.
or do you want the real deal? Now, I love sushi. I
Yeah.
love sushi. And there are things about the Asian culture spiritually that I'd love to go to some of the temples.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yes.
so awesome
Yes.
to be in that prayerful presence.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be amazing. Wow, so we got Peru, we got Japan, and South America.
I mean, can I go back on one? Can I?
Sure.
Peru fits into South America.
Okay.
India. I already have my Indian visa. It's ready to go. I just haven't been, and I was
Really?
on that side of the world, and I just didn't make it. But I ended up kind of in India, in Portugal. So I ended up at a beautiful ashram. Have you heard of Muji?
Oh, I have not.
Okay, so I ended up at Muji's ashram in Portugal. So I got a little taste of India in
Oh,
Europe, which was
my.
amazing. Yeah, he's
So-
a great teacher.
Now, so this is a man or is this
He's a man. Yeah.
Really? He's a
guru.
guru. Huh.
Yeah.
And how long did you sit with him? Did you bow at the feet? Did you?
He doesn't like the bowing, which I love him
I
for
love
that.
that.
Yeah,
Love that.
he's
Love
like, meet me. You know, meet me right
beautiful.
here. Yeah.
Beautiful. What
Yeah.
a spiritual. That was a spiritual journey.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. I left last year and I kind of sold everything and went on to, explore the world.
Oh
and I
my
just
goodness.
let life guide me. I didn't make any plans, and I ended up in Portugal. I didn't know who Muji was, and I ended up there for over 2 months. I didn't leave.
Really?
Basically in the silence, just, yeah.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh, Wow.
I know, it was so neat. So
Wow,
Yeah.
that you had to. I mean, okay, I've only done Vipassana.
oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done that a few times, 3 times.
Nice.
And that's just 10 days of silence. So I can't even begin to imagine the level of consciousness that you just
Sink into.
devolve
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Did you even recognize yourself?
I mean, I think I didn't eat. I couldn't even really comprehend the levels that were unfolding while I was there. You know, you're just in it, and then later you realize what unfolded while you were there. I do know that by the end, I could not stop the God tears. My oatmeal was so beautiful. The leaf on the tree was so beautiful. Oh my gosh! They're like, she's just the girl who cries. Just let her cry. She's the woman who cries.
She'll be all right.
But you feel so much love. You feel so much connection to everyone and everything, and it's amazing. And it just comes from stillness. It's the biggest cosmic joke that if we just sit still, the love just permeates us and everything.
You know, at a point, the mind chatter just falls away.
Yeah.
It literally just falls away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it, for me, it was like the abyss that was so inviting.
Yes.
And so yummy.
Yes. It is.
You know,
I mean,
that I was just like,
That feeling.
On the 10th day in Vipassana, I did not want to come out. I wanted, no, I'm not.
you don't. Yeah, you want to stay in.
Yeah.
That feeling, that bliss or that peace or whatever it is just so intoxicating.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay, so Regina, as we are getting ready to wind this up, first of all, I want to thank you for being so honest and being so wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
And
Thank
so
you.
beautiful. If there's anything that you could share with someone out there about how, if they find themselves in a situation where they're addicted to whatever, or if they just find themselves not feeling good about their life, what would you say to them?
Well, if they're finding themselves caught in an addiction, I think one of the biggest things to remember is that what is within you is so much more powerful than whatever is going on outside of you. And I know that I heard that, and now that I truly understand it, it really does change your whole entire world. And that we can ask for help from this guidance that is within us. We can ask for it. I think that we struggle on our own and we feel so helpless in the world, but there is this higher power within us that is there to help us. And when we can let go and release into that and admit that we need help from it, we need it. Where are you at? Like, come get me,
Yeah,
it's there for you.
How beautiful that is.
Yeah.
That is really beautiful. Because the people, whomever you need, the things, the places, they'll show up.
Yeah.
They will show up and you will hear them.
The more devotion you give to what is within, the more everything outside of you just falls into line. It's so beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
We've got to sing our song out.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
I don't know if I told him to do it twice.
I love it.
Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And that's your song of the week. Dancing with yourself, dancing with the divine within you is awesome. And it's always available 24/7, every day, never stopping, no matter what. It's right there with you. So, remember, we are one. We hold a vision. We are creating our here and now. Just you and me. Just you and me. I want to thank you for joining me on Pass the Mic, and I'll see you next week.